everyone. I am re-recording this because whenever I first started this thing, basically, okay, let me back up. This is Aquila, and I tried to record a video where I show you some stuff about using Webtoons, and what happened is that I thought that I was recording my voice while I was recording the video, and it did not take. The video still worked out, but the audio didn't record, so let's go through this again. So here is the Webtoons dashboard, and okay, all right, let me back up. Way back in, I think it was the late summer of, okay, ignore what I'm doing with my mouse. I can't even remember what I was doing there. Late summer of 2021, I knew I wanted to start putting TRIFORCE of Power up on Webtoons, okay? And I wanted to schedule things in advance. So you can see I was scheduling things for the autumn time. And this is good because Webtoons has a pretty good scheduling system. It seems to be really good about posting things when you schedule them, which is really nice. And yeah, it's not a bad system. And it was okay because for the first few chapters, I knew that I wanted to have I wanted to just put things out in big chunks. The first few chapters are not, they're not the best quality because of the circumstances under which I did them. So I knew I wanted to just kind of like get them out there, put them out in either, the whole chapter at once or split up into 2 parts. So like that's pretty easy to manage. It's easy to schedule. No biggie. However, I am insane, and I was like, I'll just schedule out the entire comic so far, up to the current chapters, and that meant having more parts, like 3 parts, 4 parts, 5 parts, etc. And I wasn't really thinking long term as far as like how long I wanted to have a consistent updating schedule with the Webtoons uploads, because while I do have a lot of comic to upload, it's still a limited number of pages, and eventually I'm going to catch up to where I am now, where I'm doing about a page a week, and with an odd off week here and there. So at first I was doing I went up to like chapter 15, 16 or something like that, and I was having it in parts, I think it was split up into 5 parts at the most. But then I was realizing that this, even with splitting it up that much, it was still only going to last me for so long. It was only going to have result in regular updates for only so many months, and it was like I would really rather be able to have regular updates, even if they are shorter, for a longer period of time. So yes, so I was like, well, I will just want to be changing things and editing things and adding in new scheduled times. However, Webtoons does not let you do that. So you could see how I have March 28th, March 21. I have 2 posts scheduled for those times coming up at the time that this video is recorded. So let's say I wanted to schedule something for the 25th of March. I would not be able to add that into this without deleting the 28th post. Either that, or I'd have to replace the 28th post with a post for the 25th. Basically, you are not able to schedule things before things that you already have in your queue on your schedule, okay? This is also why you can't add new chapters. You can't go back and add a new chapter at the start of your series, okay? So this came as a surprise, not because of Webtoons' fault necessarily. It's mostly because I am bad at reading. I'm bad at reading directions. I just missed it. They said it, I don't know where they said it. I looked around to try to find where the instructions were saying you have to schedule things in the order that you want them to be published, and you cannot go back and schedule things, earlier. I remember reading that after I had scheduled 15, 16 chapters, and I was really mad at myself. And I tried to find it. Here I am trying to search for search for that warning, and I cannot find it, but I know it's around. It really isn't. It's not Webtoon's fault. That was me. And yeah, so this is not the worst problem, obviously, and it's just that uploading stuff is always going to take a little bit of time. So like for Webtoons, you have to have the thumbnail and you have to upload the files, and depending on like your internet speed and things like that, you know, that can impact things and how many files you want to upload, and you know what size they are, and if you want to add spacing between the pages and the pages are, you know, they don't have spacing in them, you have to add blank files. And like, again, it's not a bad thing, and it's, you know, usually they're pretty good at uploading things in the order that you upload them, you know, but sometimes you do have to reorganize things. And, you know, and like, this is not like a big deal, but whenever you're doing this for lots and lots of chapters, because you charged ahead like a fool, like I did, without reading the instructions, it does take up quite a bit of time. So I guess the story is, don't be like me. Read everything. Read the instructions. Read the guidelines about how things work. And don't charge ahead and do lots, you know, an hour or so worth of stuff that you just have to completely get rid of and then redo because you didn't read about how the system is different from Tumblr's scheduling system. Oh man. I mean, so people complain about Tumblr, and you know, a lot of those complaints are really legitimate, like, you know, for real, but it does have a good scheduling system. It's scheduling and it's queue and like the way all that works, it really is, it's quite good. I have found it to be quite good, especially because, I mean, my standards are pretty low because I never have used that before Tumblr. I never used any kind of scheduling stuff because I just used DeviantArt, which doesn't have that sort of scheduling option unless if you're like a special member, but you have to pay money for that. It's like, no way am I doing that. So anyways, yeah, just wanted to share this, and hopefully it will prevent anyone who is as silly as me from making the same mistake and wasting, you know, a few hours of your life that, you know, you could have been using for something else other than deleting uploads and re-uploading and so on. So yeah. Um oh golly. Okay, that's all for this video. Bye bye.